Hey there, everybody, welcome back. It's Enigmatic Entertainment back again with another video, and this time I'm going to be discussing the problem with the public education system. I'll go over my formal education history real quick, just for reference sakes, I guess. Went to school, problems happened, dropped out, ninth grade, got my GED when I was like 17. Took the test for it, everything pretty easy, simple, passed it. Okay, cool. Moved on. Was gonna go to college. Decided not to, honestly, because I felt like it wasn't gonna be for the right reasons, and it wasn't really in me. It wasn't in my heart. It wasn't really my goal or anything like that. So I didn't. That's a very, very brief history, leaving out a lot of stuff, of course, but you get the idea. I'm not going to sit here for that long and talk about all of it. If you want more details, feel free to leave a comment. It's all good. I'll also be making another video talking about some other things in a little bit more depth on that side, probably. So, hey. So, let's start off. I'm going to break down a few problems with the public education system that I have in particular, and some that are a little bit more general and things that I've experienced, witnessed, heard, seen, and have discussed with people in the past. So, starting off, the elephant in the room. Like most things in this country and society, that was also built on racism. And it's still profiting from that now. You can see it in the way that, for example, black students are disciplined compared to white or other. I've experienced that myself, I believe, as well. Of course, sometimes you can't really prove it, unfortunately. That's the thing when it comes to things like racism and discrimination and whatnot. It's hard to really prove. But I have had situations in the past where I felt like I was bullied either by students or teachers because of the color of my skin. So that's just never fun. It runs deep. You can look at it. Black students more likely to get detention, suspensions, expulsions, things of that nature. It's happened to me in the past as well when I was attending school. Of course, in hindsight, I can look back and say that's probably why. Back then, I wasn't really thinking of it from that aspect. I was just in middle school, high school, and whatnot. Very different time. And, you're not really thinking about certain things like that. Now, that is an extraordinary, very just bad situation to be in, honestly, of course. But, like I said, or what I'm about to say, don't have the solution for that problem whatsoever. I don't. But the conversation has to be had. You can also look, there's a shortage of black teachers. I didn't have black teachers growing up. One, maybe, in my entire 10 years of going to school, roughly. So that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, really think about it. Think about it. I'm not in some foreign country in Eastern Europe or something like that or anything. I mean, I'm on the East Coast in the United States, the melting pot, So, hey, don't you think something's a little bit off there? But, hey, that's one of those things you just don't pay attention to sometimes, huh? So, yeah, we get disciplined and also a lot more likely to be considered problem children or considered to have autism, ADHD, problems like that, to be given less help and aid when needed, and just be written off as a problem or an issue to be just dealt or handed off to the prison system. They call this the school to prison pipeline and whatnot, unfortunately, especially in certain neighborhoods. Don't like it, don't appreciate it. It needs to be fixed and worked on immediately. A whole nother problem, moving on, is the bullying. I mentioned it very briefly, and I'm going to probably touch on that in a whole different video separately, but that is another problem for sure. The bullying is drastic. I don't like seeing all these. I've seen a lot, both firsthand and as I got older and witnessed things and heard things that are just not very pleasant, to say the least. But once again, that'll probably be a separate topic for that in particular. So moving on. Thirdly, a lot of public schools in this system are severely underfunded, and that's a government problem because they choose the funding to go to which school, which city, which state, which county, so on and so forth, which school district. And you know where the funding goes in general, like to the military, to the police, to schools, to fixing the streets, the cities, all this stuff. Foreign aid, to their own pockets of the politicians. And of course, that's not a problem at the schools themselves, granted, but it is still a problem that, us, all of us have been a student at some point, even if we aren't now, that we have to deal with. We have to deal with the repercussions and consequences of the choices that the bigwigs, the politicians, and whatnot have chosen. As much as I might not agree with certain school situations, I do agree that they are underfunded and they can need more funding. It's ridiculous that they have to hold fundraisers to raise money. They can't afford, you know, to give lunch to the children or to go on field trips or to buy supplies, so on and so forth. The list goes on. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, it's a messed up situation. What do you do about it, though? Like I said, I don't have the answers to these questions. I'm just posing them and showing everybody the problems that exist. Next up, 4. Now this goes mostly towards private schools and colleges, and this is where a big a big part of my problem personally comes from. The cost. You should not have to pay thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and add another thousand on there just to attend school. If this education is so important as a whole to all of us as a society to be properly formally educated and all that, why are you charging so much? Please inform me, because it makes absolutely no sense in the slightest freaking bit. Some of these schools for just tuition alone are charging half, 50 grand and whatnot for like a year or a semester. Thousands also on top for dorms. Hundreds and hundreds for books and other supplies. And it's ridiculous because on top of that cost, or, the other problem with it that I have is you're essentially working for free. Wait, did I say working for free? I'm sorry. I meant you're paying to work. Even worse. Yeah. You're essentially paying a school to work. It's not even volunteering. Like, I can understand that if you're volunteering your time, but you're paying. And I know, of course, people will say, Enigmatic Entertainment, I have financial aid. I'm not paying anything. I'm part of this program for low income. Yes, okay, I get it. Fine, then this doesn't concern you, but don't act like you're the part of the 99%. This goes on people that are paying, whether it's out of their own pockets, have to work a part-time job, full-time job. Their parents had to save up money or have to work extra hard to provide for it. We've all seen it either personally or in our own lives or on freaking TV and freaking movies, freaking everywhere. It's like almost a freaking cliche now. Yeah, I worked up so I can give my children, a life where they get to go to college and I'm paying for it and their tuition is all being covered by me. Okay. Now, I didn't come from a family where that was like the thing. Like, yeah, you have to go to college and we're going to pay and all this stuff. But personally, you're paying to work. I'm sorry, I just had to repeat it again because it's just so freaking ignorant. But, hey, moving on. Now, this is a problem that goes for school in general, especially, I'd say, when you're like in high school. But, college too. Let's just get right down to it. The lessons you learn sometimes are so irrelevant to your everyday normal life and what you'll be doing for the rest of your life that it seems almost entirely pointless to really have them be mandatory, honestly. Are you learning how to do your taxes? Because taxes is going to get you no matter what. Are they teaching you how to take care of a family, take care of a household, take care of children? Now, once again, you could say enigmatic entertainment. I'm not going to have children. I'm not going to get married. I'm going to be single forever. Okay, I don't. Once again, you can count yourself as part of like the 2%. That's fine. I get it. But once again, I'm talking to the majority here. So, hey, teach us something that we're going to use outside of the basics, like they say, reading, writing, and arithmetic. I'm not really using anything and haven't used anything on anything that I do currently. Anything I did at any job I've held has been stuff that I've been self taught or have learned from the people around me in my social circle or in my own family or just my natural talents and skills, that I've picked up. So, what was the point of all of that? You know? Like I said, once again, outside of the basic reading, writing, arithmetic, so on and so forth. The three essentials. I just don't get it. Especially child care, that's very important. A lot of people don't know how to take care of their children and they're having them. Some of them while they're still in high school, which is a whole other story, of course. That's different, but, just doesn't make any sense to me. Add some more classes in that are very relevant to everyday life, to the normal stuff, that we do as a society. Might be a little bit more useful then and might actually serve some kind of purpose. But once again, hey, what do I know? I didn't go to college, so apparently I'm just like extremely ignorant and stupid and all that stuff, as some people say, which is really just dumb. But hey, people don't want to feel like, they spent all that money for nothing. Because a lot of them do realize it, that they did. I've seen a lot of comments online, a lot of people talking about they couldn't really do anything with their degree and they spent all that money and time, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, so on and so forth. And it's really kind of tragic, and I see those all the time, and it's really just sad, We're giving 18-year-olds a choice. They can go to school or they can go to the military. Because they see that's like the only choice they have in life. They don't see like any of the other numerous options out there, unfortunately. And it's really just messed up. They're making life decisions. Go to the military and possibly risk losing your life or causing bodily harm to someone else. Or going to college and going into debt and spending thousands upon thousands of dollars and possibly getting a piece of paper that you can't really do much with. It's kind of, just unfortunate, I guess, At that age, 18, 19, 20, 17, so on and so forth, the brain is still developing even. It has a few more years, at least, until it's fully developed, and you're more mature and able to make better decision-making, better decision-making skills you're possessed when you get a little older. I realized that already. But hey, they push that on you at a young age and try to coerce you and push you into doing things like that. And I feel bad for even the new crop that's going to be forced into doing that and making that kind of decision and choice in life. But hey. Lastly, another problem is, well, all the time you spend, all the time you waste. 2 years for an associate's degree, 4 years for a bachelor's degree, on average, unless anything comes up and makes it longer or you expedite it in some way, which just puts more stress on you. And on top of that, all the stress and health problems that can occur, especially mentally, from, spending so much time working so hard trying to figure out how to, pay for your student loan debt once you graduated, and while you're in school, trying to pick courses, trying to make sure that you get into the course, trying to fix it, have your schedule with it, and manage the schedule of a job on top of that. And you can say, oh, like, this is life and that's how it goes. I'm like, all right, cool, I guess. But these are also choices that you make. You choose to go to school. And as far as everything else, that's unfortunately something I understand that society has pushed onto us. It's not something that we, our current generation, and the next generation, and the previous one have made. This is generations ago that has put these things in place. Granted, I understand all that, of course. I'm just still speaking on it because it has to be spoken on. It's a lot of time wasted. It just is. Doing all these extra courses, especially that have nothing to do with your major. Don't think just because I didn't attend college and get some kind of freaking fancy piece of paper that I don't speak to people that have on like a regular basis, you know? So they tell me and we talk. They talk about the scheduling. They talk about their classes. They talk about how a lot of their classes they have to take. It's mandatory, but they have nothing to do with the major at all. And I'm just like, don't you think that's kind of like a waste of time and kind of ridiculous and very arbitrary? It's a freaking scam, like insurance or warranties. It's a trap that they got you by the balls in, unfortunately. Um, and it's just a tragic waste of time for some. It just is. Now, I understand that once again, a lot of this is something that society's pushed on us. I've looked at a lot of jobs in my life. I've looked at a whole lot of job postings and listings and whatnot, and I see, and it irritates me and irks me so greatly that a lot of them, it'd be like a simple position. You don't need much of anything. You can really learn it as you go, you know. And you go to requirements, and then it's just like associate's degree required or bachelor's degree required, or do you have an associate's degree? Do you have a bachelor's degree? Or higher. And I'm like, why? I really want to ask these people. I wish I could just for what? What why? You know what I mean? Like, it's funny, like when I read that like certain CEOs of companies and founders of companies and whatnot, like multi-billion-dollar like corporations don't even have these degrees, but the job postings for their companies do. And I'm sure you're either going to think one of two things of my following statement. You're either going to think that I'm freaking crazy, or you're going to think that what I'm saying is common sense and everybody already knew this, and that's fine. But once again, I'm going to say it anyway for those that don't. It really just makes me feel like all of this is very arbitrary. They're just trying to find a reason to exclude certain people in particular. And on top of that, makes me really just feel like they are truly in bed with the schools, Not the students, obviously. No. But they're really in bed with the schools, these educational institutions. Because if these corporations weren't requiring you to have these degrees, then there'd be less people going to the schools and, they'd be profiting less. So, isn't it kind of crazy how all these things just coincidentally happen to coincide? I mean, it's almost like it was planned from the beginning. Like it's almost based off some kind of capitalism or like a European concept of sorts. But hey, what do I know? I don't know. I don't pay attention to anything. I don't me, I didn't go to school, so I'm an idiot. But hey, once again, I'm just speaking. And if I can notice these things, I'm sure other people out there can. But like I said, people wanted me to talk about this topic, and let me just toss this in. I'm tired of the people that go around boasting and bragging about how they went to this nice fancy school, university and whatnot, spent all this money, lived in dorms to have the college experience, and spend all this money, and then they have to look down on people that didn't, so they have a way to boost their own self-esteem, and so they don't feel like idiots for wasting all their time and money doing something, and then they kind of have regrets, so they have to have to have this false bravado and confidence in that. I see you, and I'm pretty sure other people can see you too. It's corny, it's whack. Please just stop it. We get it. You attended Harvard or Yale. I don't give a damn. I truly don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. And also, let me just toss in, of course, certain things don't apply. If they don't apply, then let it fly. If you're going to school because you want to study medicine, you want to study law, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, and they require you to have these things, it's for a reason. I understand that. I don't want you to be a lawyer if you don't know law. Please go study that. That's obvious. I'm especially talking about the people really, like I said, when these job postings are just like, just have any degree. We don't care which one, because they really don't ask. It's just like, do you have an associate's degree? Yeah. Like, it's not even like what major, what study. It's just like, do you have one? So what is it that you're learning in these basic fundamental courses, apparently, that are needed on a job? Like, it'd be because you're going there for a major, for a study, for a specific reason. You know what I mean? But a lot of these jobs are just like, because you're going to school to get a job, right? Like, that's why you're going. If you're going because you like it, let me make this very clear so nobody takes this and tries to spin it. If you're going to school because you like going, then this doesn't apply to you, and you can just, it's fine. This doesn't apply to you. This applies to the people that go and they stress out about it, and they freaking cry about it, and they complain about it, and they regret it, so on and so forth. They're doing it to get this job or so on and so forth. Look at these jobs. They don't care sometimes. Not all jobs, granted. I already mentioned 2 previously. But look at it. A lot of these jobs don't care what degree you got it in. They don't care if it's biochemistry. They don't care if it's engineering. They don't care if it's computer science, design, freaking information technology. They don't care if it's physiology, psychology. They just don't freaking care. They don't care if it's economics, politics, world history, African American studies, literature. They don't care. They just want you to have one. So once again, that just makes me further believe like what I said a few minutes ago. Do these corporations have anything to do with the schools? I smell collusion. But hey, what do I know, right? Whatever. Anyways, that is, like I said, some of my personal problems and some of the things that I've heard from others. And that's a lot of my opinions on school. The public school system, severely warped, damaged, needs destroying and rebuilding. D and R. Destroy and rebuild. It is in the very much needing of a rework. You need, like I said, the basic 3s, the essentials, reading, writing, and arithmetic. So don't think that I want people out here being illiterate, not able to read, not able to write, not able to freaking do basic math or anything like that. That is nothing by the sort. Never, ever am I saying that is okay. I also am not saying that people that have developmental issues or anything of the sort do not need assistance and help and guidance, support, and proper basic education and whatnot. I'm not saying that either. Do not take or twist this into anything of the sort when in regards to that stuff, because that's ridiculous. If I see that in the comment section, that's getting deleted. And it's just clear to me that you really don't have the comprehension skills necessary to be watching these kind of videos. So once again, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more, because more content is on the way. If there's any topics that you want to hear, like I said, this one is one that I've talked about with people, and they said, talk about it. I'm talking about it. Leave in the comment section below if you have questions, comments, concerns, things of that nature. Well, how do you feel about this public education system? If you're from a different country, how is yours and compared to the United States? How do you feel about it? You know, open for dialogue. Let's have courteous and civil discourse. And once again, I'm Enigmatic Entertainment. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Click the thumbs up button if you like the video. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Links will be in the description box below. Follow the channel on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. And of course, like always, I have a Discord server too. Still looking for people to join. If you use Discord, hit me up there. That's typically where I'm at. And reach out to me, guys. I'm good. New content on the way soon. Enigmatic Entertainment. I'm out.